What's up, world? What going? Hope everybody good. Back in the place. It's your boy Nushan. Fast week there, back in the building. Thanks for tuning in. And we're here to discuss the Bob Marley One Love movie. Right by now, it's Saturday morning when this video has been posted. You should have seen it by now. If you haven't and you're considering, let me tell you my take on the movie itself. And don't worry about any of the fluff or the jargon or any of the foolishness you've been seeing online, because some people just want to be a bandwagonist and just hate on things that doesn't have any merit for hating on. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even see it, so how can you have an opinion on something that you haven't seen? You just want to be a bandwagonist. Anyway, so we'll go up the line and we're going to start off with this review. See, Bob Marley One Love biopic movie presented from So Bob Marley One Love movie came out February 14, 2024. It's on a Wednesday. Happens to actually share the same day as Valentine's Day, and Cartel's council appeal hearing was started on that day. Okay, so we're waiting on the results of that too as well. But with the movie, let's tell you about this. Let's go through. But the movie, I ended up seeing it in the evening. It was nighttime. One of the last showings. And let's see, let me let you know what's directed by Ronaldo Marcus Green. If you don't know who he is, he actually directed King Richard in 2021. That actually got nominated for Best Picture at the 94 Oscars. So he's coming, the movie has some people, a director at the helms that's pretty decorated, as well as, let's see who else was in the movie. Was produced by Robert Tittel, Dee Dee Garner, Jeremy Kleiner, Ziggy Marley, Rita Marley, and Cedella Marley. So those were the producers, and starring Kingsley Ben Adir, Lashana Lynch, and James Norton. And yeah, so the movie runs about 104 minutes, had a budget of about 70 million. Yo, 70 million on a yard flick, yo, wicked. And it looks like it took in about 30 mil first day so far, as the Wikipedia says as of this recording. So yeah, man, it's a decent production. They definitely spend quality money with this film. Okay, so let me say some good things about it. What I noticed, the movie, the wardrobe, it felt very period, period centric, you know, like it was in that time, you know, all of the fashion, the clothes, the cars. Bob had an old 5 Series, I think it was a 533, it was pretty nice. So it was definitely period centric. Even the locations, it was colorful. A lot of colorful. Shout out to the cinematography. Definitely captured a lot of because you know, during the 70s it was all about like the hippies and the colors, flower movements and all that stuff. So, and it showed from even going from Jamaica to London, you know, they switched up locations. You know, that's not cheap all the while. Sometimes you try to recreate a scene in a similar location, but they actually did travel. So that's pretty good to know that you took that extra effort for authenticity. I think that was good. Like I said, they look very period centric. Even the crowds, the extras when they was doing the concert, they tried to capture, I guess, the magnitude of the concerts that Bob Marley was performing in at that time, and it looked epic. I think you should agree. If you saw it, then you should agree that it looked like them big, huge stadiums, and everybody was rocking, dancing. Really nice, really nice. So outside of that, now the film together itself, I thought it was cool. It was more authentic than I was gonna initially go in. I'm not gonna front. I initially was gonna go in and felt like it was gonna be so watered down, but it wasn't. They try to keep it as authentic as possible to make it reach a broad audience. So that's the essence. And at times, I felt Kingsley, the Bob Marley character, I feel he can do better with the patois, and he held back to try to sound like he's speaking patois, but soften it up even more. So that's just what I felt from it. When you hear the dialogue go on more and more, you can say, yeah, you'll get what I'm saying, you know? But it wasn't all about just soft out. The main characters, they may not like the patois not strong with them. So if you're going into the movie looking for a strong patois, it's not shatas. You're not gonna get any of that. It's not dancehall queen, okay? So don't go in there with that mindset. Try to at least put that aside and watch the movie for what the movie is presenting. It's a story, it's a tale about Bob Marley. It is a quick movie. I'm not gonna. So now, that doesn't mean that the patois still isn't cringy. Some of the dialogue, for me, Rita's dialogue, I don't know what her lines, who wrote the lines or whatever for her per se, but it felt so cliche. There was a lot of buzzwords, a lot of cliche words. It didn't feel natural in a speaking manner. It just felt like, oh, I saw that on a t-shirt, let me say that sounds good. I don't like that. It's too cliche. The Irie man, certain things she would say, it just felt unnatural. It didn't feel authentic. Now, I'm not trying to say she's a poor actress, but I don't think she delivered the lines, or the lines that were given to her wasn't natural. It just didn't feel, it didn't connect. The character development for her as well, it didn't progress in the movie. It had a point where they was in England when he sent for her. You thought that you can see her actually coming into her own because of what it took for her to come to England, and she's already been hearing about the promiscuity between Bob and other women, but it kind of fell flat after that part. If you saw that, then look back at it, you'll probably agree. But outside of that, it just felt like a whole bunch of, a lot of marketing strategies was in the film. Alright, I think that's what it was, because with how the world sees Rasta and Bob Marley, they think it's just, all about ganja and Irie man and no problem, and I'm not gonna say everyone, but it is a vast majority that think that's what it's all about. So in this movie now, I can't say an executive from Paramount probably felt that's what he sees too, so you needed some of that. So they can go ahead and sell a bumper sticker or sell a t-shirt or, a couple of memes words. Like I said, some of them, for instance, there's no bad words in there, but you get a bumper clot 2 times. I think it was Peter Tosh. It's like, oh, this bumper clot white boy. And that felt a little bit more authentic in the delivery of the line, but how and when it was, the room was quiet. It just was like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I want a bumper clot. That didn't feel that felt corny too. Like that was cliche. That was corny. I'm sorry. And then Bob did it one time when he was angry. But let's not sidetrack. Like I said, I'm not bashing the movie. I just felt like some of the dialogue was so cliche. I know Rasta like for talking parables, but with the main characters, it looked like it was a cookie cut and punched in a lot of lines. It didn't feel flowing. Bob had better dialogue, I felt, with his road manager than with the other co-stars. When him and Rita's back and forth, it just didn't feel real, you know what I'm saying? I think Martin and Gina have a better on-screen romance than what you would have felt, and the dialogue will help that, but they did good. I know they work hard on this film still nonetheless, so shout out to the Rita, the actress that played Rita, Miss Lynch. Okay, so another aspect of the movie, again, that I might have mentioned was the pacing. Now, I thought if you're a Bob Marley fan, you've probably watched hundreds of documentaries and certain elements and certain aspects of his life or certain time periods of his life. A lot of that was jumped over. It was hard, they just rushed past it or looked past it. I don't know. Maybe in editing, them trim it up to make sure the movie don't run super long, or they didn't want to go over too much facts that they felt like the world already knew, but wanted to make sure they kept the important parts. But I don't think it did it this justice. I think they could have still added more. If it had to add another 15 minutes to it, you could have done it. And 15 minutes in movie time, 3-4 minutes for a scene is a lot of time, you know? So, I don't know. To me, it just felt like we've reached this part already. Oh, he's already gotten shot. After that, he leaves. He goes to England. He's already coming back. And then when he has a diagnosis for cancer. He does the show, and then the movie's over. He doesn't go to Africa on camera. They just show montage footage at the end of the movie. So for me, I'm just like, it was like 4 chapters. Yeah, there was some filler in between when it came to like, oh, choosing the album cover with an executive that's producing the album, that's distributing the album, or they want to figure out if Bob's going to what song they're gonna play. They did do a job. I think they kind of made Bob Marley a little seem nonchalant. I'm not saying he was a worry person, but they did make him seem like nothing about him. Like he's very nonchalant. Like he had a nonchalantness about him. People talking to him, and it's just like a don't care attitude. That's how he portrayed. That's how Kingsley portrayed him. That's what I got from it. And I don't think he was as nonchalant, and he could have been, you know. I didn't know him. I was a baby, or I wasn't born when he was doing them flex there, you know. So if that was the case, I saw elements where I didn't understand what was going on, as in speaking on the part of the movie where he uses Bob Marley as a child, and he's in the field by himself with a burning field. And maybe you know out there what the meaning was that. You can let me know in the comments. But I couldn't get what they were trying to say, what the director was trying to say. He was by himself in the middle of a burning field, and then it would be in a vision, like he's standing like on stage, and then he'll just go back, like, or they'll use those elements to kind of tell the story of his early life. It started from the beginning and then it ran up to here. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like the Jackson family or something like that story. It's more of him already big, he was already established a certain way, and then it's like memory lane type stuff, side cuts, okay. And that's how they set up the movie. So to me, it seemed a little bit fast, you know, but it was good enough to hold you. It's captivating. The movie is captivating. It is captivating. You can watch because as a Jamaican, we want to see how authentic. We're looking for little clues, you know. They had, I don't know, what I mean with the pacing as well, not to feel like I'm jumping around. For instance, they got to a point where they got to an argument, and Rita was like, that's why Bunny Wailer left, that's why Peter Tosh left. And I'm like, they left? And if you don't know who these people are, they didn't do a good job establishing the characters, in my view. Like, the Wailers are popular and known, are legendary as well. So I think maybe they could have used some captions, you know. It was good that Family Man's son got to actually play his role, you know, so that's dope, definitely dope. But again, like, if you didn't know what each band member name was, or you know what instrument they played, that might have been a clue for you to know, so that, oh, that's so and so, that's so and so. And mind you, this is still a film for the youths. Some youths gonna come up with them and watch documentary like we do, you know, at one time. This is probably the inside look into Bob Marley. I might want to look up more information for Bob, you see? So I don't know, I'm just saying. I want to, but I'm not gonna just bash the movie. The movie was enjoyable. It still was enjoyable. Like, if I'm gonna give it out of a 5, I give it a 3. If I gotta give it a 10 out of a 10, it can get a 6.5 if you ask me again on a good day. But the movie alright, man. So all the way I cuss the movie and talk about, some people just love, you know, say, as a Jamaican, we're overcritical about everything where it concerns we. You know that already. So you have to take that with a grain of salt, you know. And I know there were some statements. Ziggy Marley got talk about, oh, he couldn't find a Jamaican actor. Well, maybe he couldn't, or maybe he did, and he couldn't find a Jamaican actor where the other partners would sign off on. Cause mind you, I'll tell you, there's a couple people involved in producing this film, along with also getting Paramount to sign off $70 million to get this movie produced. So it's not like I couldn't find somebody. Me find somebody, you know. But when me find somebody, you are gonna come tell me, say, him not good enough, or him not have the look, or him not have this, or whatever. So you have to find a middle ground. I get it, it's Hollywood, and it is business at the end of the day, but, you know, I think it could have been handled a little bit with more care, more white gloves. The little picnic them, for them accent, yo, raw. You love hear the little picnic them, like Ziggy them. You like hear the little kids them speak. They are real Jamaicans. Muta Baruka was in the film. Come on, there's Jamaicans in the movie, but they meant the main role. There wasn't that many main roles. It's Bob, it's Rita, it's the manager, it's the guy, the other guy, the road manager, it's all that. Him, the road manager. So the road manager now, after him get shot, all of a sudden now, him just make all the deal them, and Bob just moving around, and it wasn't until he got Rita got upset at Bob and telling him, oh, he's skimming off the top or whatever, put the bug in his ear, put that battery in his back. And then when Bob accused Rita of infidelity and she owns it, she couldn't do nothing about it, and she walk off, Bob begs, and then Bob goes to approach the road manager and box him. Like, you see, alright, if you're gonna box him, we still needed some story. Like, he accuses us of something totally different from what Rita is telling him. And say, yo, you're supposed to do the Africa, Wagwan Africa, and Rita's just telling him he's just skimming off the top, you know? And there's been little hints here like, oh, this is the Gucci here, all this Gucci threads, where Bob sees him getting a little nicer clothes as their tour progresses. But I feel they could have dialed in more into that story. What happened? How did he fire? Did he apologize? What happened? Because from the guy get boxed, you know, see him again throughout the movie. So there are little areas, little holes here and there. Like I said, they could have finished it. Maybe the editing, maybe you have to wait for the director's cut. Maybe they want to sell the DVD, if they still do that. But maybe there's a director's cut where it's a little bit longer and it has more footage that tells more of the story. I have to just sit down and wait, but I don't think it's that bad, you know. Don't get me myself, you know. We live in America. Sometimes we have to twang and we gotta talk like on a regular, you know, so everybody can understand. And then you get around your peoples and then you can't mix it up. Can't find an actor like me. You see me? Yo, hey, it's perfect time to say, get your cups in the description and get some merch. You can support the One Destiny Media channel. Yeah, the cup is nice, you know. Boil your tea. We got all different types of merch, more coming, more different logos and stuff I'm gonna be using. But the movie was good. Get back to the movie. So like I said, the movie is good. It's not all that. I don't think I'll be rewatching it like Dancer Queen or Shatters. I don't think it's a classic. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we're just not that demographic to where it can connect to us like that. But I don't think it has a connector. That's why I judge it a 3 out of 5. 6 out of 10, and it seems very like a market ploy. I gotta make back this money, you know. It's an autobiography about a musician, so they're gonna play his music. The placement of his music feels like you're forcing them to get stream numbers. Bob Marley don't need help to get his stream numbers. So the score, I don't know who did the score. Let me take a look real quick. I don't think the score is in my notes. Music by Chris Bowers. So production companies, Plan B Entertainment, State Street Pictures, Tough Gun Pictures. I don't know. Maybe because I have a little bit of an insider, not insider, but I understand a little bit of how what it takes to get one of these films produced. So between editing, budgeting, and the partners, and you know, permits, and all types of different things where you got to take into account all different types of actors. it's not all easy as said and done. You know, there's could be more that's not being said. But again, they package a good product nonetheless. The soundtrack is gonna be good because Bob Marley songs are timeless. Kingsley did pretty good. He did. At one point, I was thought the dread them now grow up. I said the dread them just stand here for the whole time. And then by the time we reached the yard, the little fake dreads was like on him back or something like that. So, and if you seen them on the Breakfast Club last week, he was talking about how authentic they wanted to get the dreads them and the process that they used to make the dread wigs. Okay, I hear you. Maybe I can get my stuff back. There's hope, maybe.